if I want to find the length of something, what is my basic unit for length? Now that we use inches in the English units, but not in the metric system. No, not centimeters. Brian? Or Brandon, sorry. Not the millimeter. The meter. That's the standard unit. So for length, it's the meter. We represent that by the lowercase m. Okay, what about mass? No, not pounds. Not ounces.
Grams.
I'm sorry, that's what?
I think it's a gram.
A gram? Yeah, we'll go with that. Again, that is the base unit, represented by the letter G. And what about volume?
I think it might be liters.
Can't be liters. I think you're wrong. What do you guys think? We represent liters with a capital L. And if you're from across the pond, you don't write that way. You get dyslexic and put the R before the E. They're crazy. Alright, so those are our basic units. So if you want to find the length of something, it's all related around this length of the meter. And we can go to really large length, which is the kilometer, or we go down to really small length, which is the millimeter. We can get even smaller than the micrometer, or even a picometer and a nanometer. Those are all really, really small values. So these are what we call suffixes. So for those of you guys that remember your grammar, what is the suffix? Hold on, it goes at the end of the word. All these other ones are prefixes, so where do they go? Beginning. All right, so let's go over these. So we have our basic unit. That's your meter, gram, or liter. That's your unit. 1 meter, 1 gram, 1 liter. You guys should be writing this down. Now the magic begins to take place. We're going to call this 1.0. 1 meter, 1 gram, 1 liter. Let's start getting bigger. Deca means what? 10. Now notice, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this decimal and move it 1 unit to the right. So it becomes 10.0. We represent deca with a D, A, period. Hecta is basically 10 decas, which gives us how much? And hecta is represented by the letter H. In kilo, how much is a kilo? 1,000. And kilo is represented with the letter K. Now, notice how we actually set this up. What do we do with the decimal every single time? Move it around, right? Okay, so here's the issue. I know a lot of you guys are like, why do I do metric? It's so confusing. You know, most of the time when you guys actually say it's confusing. Because I could ask you guys right now how many cups are in a gallon. Most of you guys aren't going to know that answer. Or how many teaspoons does it take to make a tablespoon, and how many tablespoons does it take to make a cup? You guys don't know. These are units that we use all the time in the United States for volume. But if I ask you to go from kilo back to the unit, or from a unit to a kilo, all you have to do is take that decimal and move it around. There's no math involved. You literally are just taking the decimal and moving it. The hard part is remembering which direction to move it and how far. But the number doesn't change. All we're doing is moving the decimal. So, we're going to start off here with the small one. That's the unit, smaller. Anytime you're going to the bigger, we're going from small to big. You might want to write this down. From small values to big values. What direction do we move that decimal?
Right.
Move to the right. Anytime we go from small to big, we move it to the right. So let's say I have, just for fun, I screwed that up. I screwed that up royally. Don't erase everything. Change the right to a left.
Also, it's like, oh,
Whenever we go from a small value to a big value, we are moving it to the left. Alright, I want to go the opposite direction now. I can't believe I just recorded myself saying that. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go the opposite direction. Deci, think about decimal. So deci is equivalent to 1/10. So 0.1. Now we're getting smaller. Deci is represented with the letter D, lowercase d. Centi, think about century. Think about cent, centennial. 1 out of 100. So we represent that as 0.01. So 2 decimal places. Again, that is represented by the letter C. Milli, like millennium, or mil. Means what? Yeah. So again, that's represented by the lowercase m, and that's 0.001. And then we can get even smaller than the milli. We can go to micrometers, nanometers, and picometers. Those are just some options. I just threw a micro just to keep you guys entertained. A micro, represented by the Greek letter mu, is out to the million. So it's really small. A micrometer is basically the thickness of a piece of paper. What a micrometer looks like, look at the edge of your piece of paper. That's how long a micrometer is. Alright, so let's do some conversions here. Alright, so we already said, if we are going from a small value to a big value, which way do we move the decimal? Move it to the left. If we're going from a big value to a small value, which way do we move the decimal?
right.
Okay, I want you guys right now, write that down in your notes. Big box around that. Highlight it. Colored pencils. Get out the crayons. I don't care what it takes. But everybody should write that down and put a big box around that in your notes. If we're moving it from a small to a big, we move to the left. Big to small, move to the right. That is literally all the notes that you need for today's lesson. Okay, I'm going to do number 1 with you, and you guys will do the rest. Okay, so we're starting with number 1, 3.67 meters. 3.67 meters. What value do we need to go to? Centimeters. All right, so where are we starting at? Yeah, so we're starting at the unit. Okay. Now, where do we have to go? Centimeters. So I got to go from the unit to the centimeter, right? All right, so if I'm going from a big value to a smaller value, which way do we move the decimal?
Right.
To the right. Now the question is how far? And all you have to do is count. So we're going to go 1, 2, and now that gives us 367 centimeters. Okay, does that make sense for you guys? Do we have any questions on what direction we need to go and how far we need to move it?